Hey guys, today's video is all about how I'm finding success with my online dating, and I want to share some of these tips with you so you can find the woman of your dreams. Stay tuned, and I'm going to give you the details on how to improve your attractiveness on your online dating profile. Let's dig in. Guys, let's get real here for a second. The reason I'm finding success on my online dating profile is because of my fitness, fashion, and finesse. So this is the three-pillar approach that has been working for me for several years now. So what I mean by that is that I'm making myself exceptional on my online dating profile because of my fitness level, which I demonstrate on my profile, my sense of fashion, which is also clearly seen on my profile, and then finesse, which finesse is a difficult thing to sort of display online, but there are ways to do it, and I'm going to describe to you how I'm getting that done. Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that first picture. I'm on the beach. I have an expansive profile, right? So I'm sort of spreading out a bit here. And then it's also a shirtless pic. So I get to show that I'm broadening my profile and my physique, which is attractive to women innately. And then also I am at the beach doing something interesting, fun, cool. And also the way the picture is taken as well is sort of ironic, right? I'm taking a selfie and someone's taking a picture of me. And to be honest with you guys, the best pictures that I have of myself is a date that I was on where a woman took a picture of me. But let's go back to talking about the pictures. So expansive postures are, I think, really attractive to women based on my research. So I definitely recommend that you guys include that on your profile. My other pictures are of me in different fashion settings, right? So in one picture, I'm wearing a tuxedo. In another picture, I'm wearing a cowboy hat. In another picture, it's more casual wear. But interestingly is the background, right? On my tuxedo picture, you can see I'm outside for one. And I think that outside pictures, when you're outdoors, it really helps a woman feel your adventurousness, right? This is part of the finesse that you want to get across, right? And then you can see that I'm at a black tie event, although I'm wearing a red bow tie. I'm at a black tie event, so it shows that I have the ability to get dressed up and do something with a little bit more culture. So that's shown here as well in this picture. And then the cowboy hat just adds a little bit more adventurous nature, a little bit more ironic. It's a little bit comical. My note on this picture is concrete cowboy. So just playing around with it a little bit. The next picture here is with me on the motorcycle, again, outside in the wild, right? Doing something fun, doing something interesting, seeming laid back. Again, check out the posture. It's expansive posture, right? I'm opening up, spreading out as much as possible in this picture as well. So you definitely don't want these closed off hands in pockets pictures or something where like you have a bunch of other people in your picture. I mean, I do have one picture on my Tinder profile where I'm with my cousin and my brother. And I like this picture because we're also like, we're out and about. We're obviously well dressed in a club. And in this picture, we're not even smiling, which I just like that because it's all guys in the picture. So it just feels like a guy's night, right? So I think this is what women envision when they see us going out. So I think this is a good picture to have on my Tinder profile. But on my Hinge profile, going back to that for a second, this last picture, or actually video of my tattoo. And I think that this shows a little bit of edginess, right? I'm not even showing my face in this profile, but you can see it's a really good video of my tattoo. I've got the music in the background and everything. So I'm just showing another aspect of who I am. So the pictures on your profile are going to be super important in getting across that fitness, fashion, and finesse. So you have to lock this down. And so what I like to help my friends, my family, my clients with is to really tell a story about who they are through their pictures. And sometimes it'll take time to get the right pictures together, but I'm also going to talk with you about in future videos on exactly how to do this. But for now, let's talk about step number 2. Okay, this next step is just describing what it is that you love. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I see a ton of these women's profiles just describing things that they don't want. Oh, don't come at me. You swipe left on this and that, and I almost never, no matter how hot she is, am I going to swipe right or hit the heart button on the Hinge profile if a woman is saying something negative about like what she doesn't want. So if you guys have anything negative on your profile, get rid of it. Talk about things that you love. And sometimes this will take you some time to figure out, sit down and actually think, what is it that I like to do? And how can I describe it in a way that's really fun and interesting and makes her want to be part of that, right? So on my profile, I talk about things that I love, like my motorcycle riding. And I also like just being out soaking up the sun and being near the water. So talking about those things where she can see and visualize herself maybe on the back of the bike or whatever it is that you'd like to do, and have her envision herself being there doing it with you. So that's really key as far as describing who you are and what you like. And more so than describing who you are, it's just really describing the things that you like. Because how much can you really describe who you are on a profile? You're better off talking about things you like. And then the next step is for you to talk about the characteristics of a woman that you find attractive. And you want to be broad in the sense, so you don't want to sort of exclude women saying, I like blondes, That's really going to, narrow the women who will positively respond to your profile, right? So you want to talk about things like, one of the things I talk about is I'm looking for someone who is focused on self-improvement, right? So that is one of those things that gets a woman thinking, if I'm saying that I want that I'm also focused on that as well. And that in fact is true. So, those are the kinds of things you want to think about. I also describe what it is, how it is that I want to approach a relationship as well. So I mention in my profile that I want to start off slow because I want to keep things balanced between friends, family, my volunteering, and of course work. So all these things, I want to give the impression that my time is limited. I'm not just available and open at all times. I have a structured way of living, and I want someone who's willing to integrate themselves into the structure in a way that is balanced for me. So already I'm talking about things that, I don't necessarily want in a positive way, right? I want to remain balanced instead of I don't want drama, right? So this, I'm sure you guys have seen these profiles where women are talking about they don't want drama, baby mama drama, whatever it is. We want to spin that to the positive. So that is going to be key in describing what it is that you love and the characteristics of a woman that you find attractive. So that's a key step in structuring your dating profile. And this is the kind of stuff that I love digging into and helping folks figure out. I help guys figure out what it is about women that they find attractive, and let's put it into the right words. So let's continue to move on here. Now, you have a great profile if a woman is actually reaching out to you. And I'm referring to Hinge on in this video for the most part, because that's what I've been using recently and have been finding success. I used to find success with Tinder and, other apps as well, but Hinge has really been hitting for me. So I want to talk with you about that. I have been getting women I'm not even sending them a message and they're liking my pictures. And that's one of the things I like about Hinge is that they can like your picture and you can like their picture. You don't have to, match necessarily for you to show interest in this woman who may not have ever seen your profile, but now she has an opportunity to look at your profile if you've even liked her picture. But liking a picture is definitely not enough. That first message that you send is going to be the difference between her looking at your profile and Xing out, or looking at your profile and matching with you. Okay, so I'll just describe to you, generally speaking, what has been working for me on the first message that I'm sending to a woman when I like her profile. The first message, I always start off, hi there, and their name. So obviously you want to spell their name correctly, because that's a nail in the coffin right away if you get the spelling wrong. So make sure you're spelling the name right. So it's hi there, Natasha. And then I'll also want to say something complimentary, right? I checked out your profile and I found that it was funny and it felt fun and sexy, or gave off a fun and sexy vibe, or a warm and friendly feel, something like that, describing her profile. And oftentimes I'll just click on the message that they're giving on their profile, those prompts, versus the picture itself, because oftentimes they'll say sweet things in their prompts that it makes sense for me to connect that warm and friendly comment about. And then of course, for me, I always want to compliment their appearance as well. So in this way, I'm complimenting their characteristics of their profile first, and then I'm commenting on their looks. I'll say something like, plus you're gorgeous, and follow that up with like a heart emoji. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll move on to say something like, here's the thing. When I'm asking, like, I always want to end my message with a question to keep that conversation going. And I want it to be a question that cannot easily be answered with one word. Like if I ask a where are you from question, that could be a one-word response. But what I'll ask is something like, how are you feeling today? By the way, right after I say, plus you look gorgeous, so I decided to say hello, right? So I position it that way because I want to give off the impression that I don't just say this about anyone and then also message them. So I think that's key in sort of letting them know that they are of a select few that I'm messaging. So I just wanted to make sure you guys know that. And then I'll ask a question like, how are you feeling today? So that how are you feeling, not how are you feeling, has a person take a moment to think about how they're feeling. And oftentimes, whether this is in writing or in person, a person will take a moment to pause and think how they are actually feeling and give a more genuine response. But in any way, this first message, oftentimes women are thanking me for the compliments that I've given them. So that's right off the bat is a positive response. Now, about half the time, they're just thanking me for the compliment and just making a statement and not asking a question like, how are you today? How about you? Oftentimes they're not doing that. So of course, again, when they respond, or even if like they match with me and don't respond, I'll wait a day or whatever, and then say something like, nice to match with you. What kind of fun stuff are you getting into this weekend? Again, another open-ended question that isn't easily answered with a one-word response. And let's say, she does ask, how are you? I'll go into describing it. And so here's the next thing I want you guys to know. This is important, is ask that woman out on the dating app. You don't have to ask for her number, just ask her out and then figure out, do you even need the number? Because I have been on multiple dates where I didn't even have her phone number when we met up for that first date. So you don't really need it, but here's what I want to let you guys know, and this has been working well for me for years and for a lot of the guys that I recommend this to. So here's the message to asking them out. I say something to the effect of, I think it would be fun if we could get together sometime soon. I'm sure we'd have an interesting conversation and a ton of laughs. How do you feel about that? And I will tell you guys, probably 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 times, they'll respond with something positive at that point, because who doesn't want to go and have a interesting conversation and a ton of laughs? You've already complimented them. They've replied back. There is interest there somewhere, because otherwise they wouldn't have ever responded to your message in the first place, or sent you a like or sent you a message, right? So there's a great possibility, if you position your statement that way and your question is open-ended, that you will find success as well. And, this is what I'm here for. I want you guys to find that love of your life. And if I can contribute to that in any way, that will bring me so much satisfaction. So right now, I'm working on creating a community, a band of big brothers to support one another in finding that woman, positioning ourselves to be ready, and making sure that we secure that love of our life. So stay with me, watch this next video to see what it is that you can do to improve your fitness, fashion, and finesse. All right, catch you guys next time.